Greetings, blessed love, and a mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I am Life and Light Productions, and Just Sparks. I am your host. Today, the topic of today is being contented with what you have. So I pray each and every eye is up full and bright and living in the light of the mind. Mighty heart of Sabbath remembrance to each and every eye, as we go through, the remembrance of the Sabbath day. And we must remember that the Sabbath day is in its sense every day, and not just the seventh day. You see it. The Sabbath is every day. You see it. Being restful in that still knowing that all that you desire is being accomplished. You see it. Yeah, man. And then you rest in the will, in the remembrance of the Sabbath day, keeping it holy. Yes, I. So with there, man, pray each and every household up full and bright. You see it. Yeah, man. Pray everyone is living in unity and love, saying one to another, Yeah, man. So the topic, being contented with what you have. As we grew up, we heard this saying, and many a times it is referred towards the poor and the needy, that the poor and the needy must be contented with the little that they have. You see it? But when you really look at that, to be contented with the little is to continue to receive little. You see it? Being contented with what you have. It's a broad question, it's a broad statement, I should say, because it tends to make one ask the question, well, what do I have? You see it? Now, most people, when they ask themselves that question, they will look out around them into the reality that they're living. And many a times, they're lacking a lot of things. You see it? So by seeing and beholding the things them that they're lacking and seeing that they're only having little and to be contented in that little, they will continue to produce, to create that little in their life for them to be contented with. So when you ask yourself, what do I have? It's a motion to motion oneself to enter into your human imagination. And when you enter into your human imagination, all things are there in perfection. So when you can visualize all the things them that you desire in your mind, you're having it already. You see it? And then now when you can rest in being contented with having all that you desire in your imagination, it shall become so for you in your reality. So when they speak about being contented with what you have, is how much you can see yourself having. How much do you see yourself have? And as much as you can see yourself having is what you will have. And as much as you can see yourself not having is as much as you will not have. Reality is just a reflection of the mind space. You see it? Yes, I. So, yeah, man, when you hear those things, you got to be very careful, Yeah, man, because we was given the wrong concepts and so many things, practically everything. Man, I say, to the point that ones and ones is just, giving up hope, giving up on that process of creation to be able to create their own desires, like the psalmists say, I have fainted unless I believe to see my goodness in the land of the living. So if you don't believe to see your goodness in the land of the living in your life, then you will faint, you will fall away. You know, you will become weary and lose hope. You see it? So that's why the psalm continue and say, I will wait on the Lord and be of good courage, for he shall strengthen my heart. I will wait, I say, on the Lord. And in this psalms, to wait is to meditate. You see it? So you meditate on the Lord and be of good courage in what you're seeing within your mind. And that shall strengthen your heart in the way. You see it? Meditate, visualize, imagine, you know? And when we, as I say, when we speak about imagination, it's not a simple surface thing. It's very deep. You see it? It's putting your five senses into that thought. You're feeling, you're smelling, you're seeing, you're hearing, and you're tasting. Everything that you're interacting with in your mind, making it as real as outside, you know? So it's a deep process of thinking. Yes, very concentrated thought, you know? And it creates a energy, a source, a flow of energy that bends reality. You see it, my people. You know, so with there, man, I go through and giving thanks again, you know. Blessings to each and every eye that tune in with eye, you know, to hear that good word, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah, the words of salvation. You know, the words of bringing one to oneself. You know, seeing that all is within. You see it? And is being expressed without. You know. So we must learn to be employed in the kingdom of heaven, that we may receive our just reward on earth. For there is no earthly work that can give you a reward in heaven. That's why it says, it's not by works, lest any man boast, but it's by faith, by grace, through faith. You see it? It's by the still knowing that you are, and not by all the things that you're doing outside, looking glory in the eyes of men. You see it? It is the still work that you do within your mind, within yourself, is what brings you the salvation that you're seeking. You see it? That's why it's so important to remember the Sabbath day. Because the Sabbath day symbolizes that spiritual rest, that stillness, or that still knowing that all your desires are met and accomplished. And now you're living in your dream. You are living the reality of your greatest version of self. And you have to enter into that scene. You have to become that person in your mind and in your actions. You see it? And that is the movements, that is the actions that you do when you're meditating. After you visualize, you become that vision. Walk as that vision. See yourself there, even when your eyes is open and you're not. You see it? This is the shift you have to make inwardly in order to get your desired reward outwardly. You see it, my people? So, when they're speaking about being contented, never be contented with the little that you have, for you shall receive more of that little. Be contented with as much as you can give to yourself in your mind. As much as you can handle, give it to yourself. And be joyful, and give thanks and praises. Just like how we say we give thanks for the giving of thanks. You see? For when you give thanks, you seal your reward in heaven on earth by giving thanks. Especially when you're giving thanks for something that you don't have yet. You seal it. You're bringing it, you're calling it and invoking it into your reality by giving thanks. So it's very important to give thanks. You see it? Yeah. That's why it says, therefore I shall give thanks and praises in thy sanctuary, in the tabernacles of the Most High. Shall I give thanks and praises in your mind, continually being thankful for what you are receiving, for what you're having. You see it? That's why Psalms 30 come and tell the eyes them. You know what I'm saying? I have turned my mourning into dancing. I have put off my sackcloth and girded myself with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praises to myself and not be silent. Because if you don't take off your sadness and replace it with joy, you will continue to receive sadness in your life. So you have to remove your sadness and place joy. Remove your lamentative clothes, your sackcloth and ashes, sitting in how I should say, in despair. You got to put it off and gird yourself with gladness and rejoicing, for such is the kingdom of the Most High. You see, rejoicing and thanksgiving, because you're receiving the kingdom. You see, and when you picture it, I don't know how ones and ones us picture it. When you picture the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven is something that is, full of abundance. Everything you desire is there. You see it? And when you check it, everything you desire is in your mind space. And you must claim it. For whatever you're desiring, it's already yours. In your mind space. That's why you're having that desire. That's why you're getting that feeling towards it. Because it's already yours. And it's calling you to itself. And all you have to do is align. Meaning, become the person that has that life, that is living that life, that wealthy life, that charitable life, that life of service. Become that person in the mind space. You see it? Because many and many ones will say, oh, well, I desire to have $1 million, but I don't have it now before me. How could I act like I have $1 million? If somebody come and ask me for money, what would I do? Because if I had $1 million, I will give it to them. You see it? But you're not acting on the outside. You're acting on the inside. And if somebody come to ask you something, you give them what you have. Whatever it is you have, give to them it. Whether it is a good word, you see it? Whether it is a good deed, you give it to them. It don't have to be something material. You see it? Whether it is a smile, anything of joy, anything to bring good feelings to the other person, you give. You see it? And give it because you're having it. You see it? In that way, there is no double-mindedness in it. Oh, man, I give this person it because I want something from the Most High. It don't work like that. You see it? You give because you're having. And because you're having, you will get more. You see it? And that is how creation work. So to the eyes them, we do give thanks to the mighty Sabbath. For it is the restful thinking, being confidently certain that your desire has been met and you're living it now. You see it? So in the manifestation, and you look at it that way, you see it? You see the difference. Because when the last video that I did, when I spoke about the manifestation, the worldly and the heavenly manifestation, you see it? The worldly manifestation is simply what they taught us in this world to do. Get yourself an idea and start to think out all the ways where you can bring this idea to manifestation. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very trying, difficult way of living. You see it? But if you go within and you establish your end in your mind, and then you dwell in that desired end by creating the feeling of what it will feel like to have those things already, and dwell in that, you will draw it to you without any outside physical work. You see it? And that brings me to, scripture where it says, and Christ was speaking to the rich man. And the rich man told him that, yeah, from my youth, I have been doing good. And I achieve all the things them that I desire in life. I am having money. I give to the poor. Saying I go to church. I do whatever they say that you have to do to be righteous. What am I lacking? You see it? And to that, Christ turned to him and say, okay, if you say you're not lacking, then take all the things them that you have acquired in the world, all your riches, right? Sell it. Take the money and go give it to the poor. And then come follow me and walk as how I walk. You see it? Now, when you look into that, you see it? You see what is being told to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it teaches that Christ walked with faith. You see it? He walked by faith and not by sight. The rich man declares his security, his safety by the wealth or the material things that he's possessing in this world. You see it? And because he has so much, he feels that it's okay for him to give. But when Christ posed to him the idea of giving all you have and then walking in faith now, it got him sorrowful, because his trust is in his riches, is in the wealthy things, the wealth that he has. His trust is there. And if you remove the trust, then you would see that there is no faith in him to walk. He cannot dwell in that still knowingness unless he have things. But when you can dwell in that still knowingness and you don't have it, that's when you're walking in faith. And doing that will bring the thing to you. So as long as you're practicing faith and have mastered faith, there is nothing in this world that you would be lacking. That's why the scripture says to store your treasures in heaven, where no thief can get to it. No moth can come and corrupt it. No rust can come and rust it. You see it? For in the kingdom of heaven, in your mind, you see it? When the Father gives you something from in there, or you give yourself from something from in there, no one on earth can take it from you. But when you work on the earth, trying to acquire all the riches and wealth that you want here on earth, then thief can come and thief it. It can get corrupted. It can get destroyed. You see it? So it is better to be employed in the kingdom of heaven. You see it? Be employed in your mind. Work in your mind space. You see, because they say 1 hour of work in your mind space is more than a month's work of physical labor. Think about that. 1 hour in the mind space. Some people cannot go 5 minutes on one steady thought. Imagine an hour. You see it? And if you can go 5 minutes on one steady thought, you can work miracles in your life. You see it? So the goal is to live by faith and not by sight. Not by what you see in yourself having, but by what you know you having within and can bring to you. You see it? That is total freedom. Total freedom. You will be in the world and not of the world. You will acquire all the things of the world and yet not be part of the world. You won't have to go through their ups and downs and their tribulations. You see it? You won't experience their inflations and deflations of the system. You see it? All these things, we must look at in this journey here, in this trod to a higher self. You see it? Yeah, man. So on the Sabbath day, it's beautiful. The breeze is blowing, the sun is shining, the insects out, the birds out, seeing the animals out. It's a glory, so I man just come forward to just sit with the eye them and share a little of I Sabbath with the eyes them, Yeah, man, royally, Yeah, man. And if the eyes them have any questions, if anyone want to reason with I upon a one-on-one, the eyes them are free to do so. Just link I up and make I know, and then I will provide, the information where we can link up and reason and such, Yeah, man, because to myself, I feel that this information is free. You see it? Yeah. Tell him to boil it. All right. Yeah. Man, say. So that's the thing there, man. We give thanks to life and Almighty Life Giver. You know what I'm saying? Whole I am. Our divine awareness of being. For outside of that, there is nothing. There is no existence. You see it, my royal family. So we do give thanks again for the eyes, them joining in. More love and blessings. Yeah, man, I pray prosperity to each and every household. Pray complete abundance to each and every eye. Because each and every eye is that complete abundance. If the eye them can only see it in the mind's eye. And claim it there. And then walk in that way. Put on that clothing, that personality. Like it say, when thou shalt seek thy face, my heart said to thee, thy face, Lord, do I seek. Yeah, man, what face are they speaking about? The face of your redemption, the face of your salvation, the face of you in the place where you desire to be. That face, they're speaking about you seeking.
That's still door from the front big. I was thinking of making a little bit of stupid small cabbage.
All right. Yeah, man. Every time she comes, she kind of look out what I man was saying. You see it. But that's how it go. I'm all love and joy, We give thanks, man. Royally. Yeah, man. So, blessed love to each and every I. All I am.